learn from it, and move on. But no industry ever stands still. And that is the key, is that innovation is happening all around us. Change is happening all around us. I mean, the cricket from my day to now has changed drastically. The fielding, the standards that the players are now setting, incredibly changed. Everyone talks about this guy, Glenn Phillips. You seen him in the Champions Trophy?
Yes, sir.
They keep saying, hey, Jonty, is Glenn Phillips, I think he's a better fielder than you. I said, well, he's 30, I'm 55. Of course he's a better fielder than me. I don't mind that, he can be a better fielder. I still try my hardest in the Masters League. Happy for him to be, but everything is evolving. So don't be scared of change. Don't be scared of taking that risk, as long as you learn from it. So that for me was a vital lesson as a cricket player. Then, as a coach, the difference between playing cricket and then coaching cricket is that when you're a coach, you suddenly realize that it's no longer just about the outcome. Because as a cricket player, you're judged on your outcome. Your business, you're judged on your outcome. But as a cricket coach, I've realized that to allow the players to go out there and play with freedom, to go and express themselves, they can't just be focusing on the process or on the outcome. So we focus about 80% of our attention on the process, how they practice, how they prepare. Not just are they doing what we tell them, are they going above and beyond their batting, their bowling, their fielding requirements to ensure that when the game starts, they're ready for anything. Because you can't prepare for everything. You have no idea where these challenges are coming from and the obstacles you're going to be facing. But if you give everything at practice, because we're always told that as school kids, growing up, playing state, junior level, practice makes perfect. You've got to practice hard. Everyone's practicing hard. But my father showed me at a very young age that it's not practice that makes perfect. It's perfect practice that makes perfect. So I would rather have the players come to me as a fielding coach for 10 minutes and do it like it's a match situation, match intensity. Because when we're practicing, things are easy. There's no stress, there's no outcome that's going to drop you. You get out in the nets and you keep going. You bowl a half volley in the nets and you bowl another ball. It doesn't impact it anything. So fielding-wise, can you make sure that the practice is perfect? Because when the game comes, it's too late to turn your A game on when the lights are on and the cameras are rolling. Your A game's got to be with you all the time. And that's the same in your business. People are watching you. If it's a team of 2 or 3 people, the way that you behave, the things that you are saying, they have to match up. You can't talk about this is the way we're going to do things, but under pressure you do something else. So a massive lesson for me as a cricket coach and as a mentor and as a member of management is that we focus on the process, not just the outcome. Sure, we want the outcome to be in our favor. But you can be a boomerang and bowl the perfect Yorker, and a middle order batter like myself gets an inside edge and it goes for a boundary. He's bowled a perfect Yorker. Is he at fault? The team might have lost the game. His decision, his planning and his execution were perfect. There's certain things that you don't have control over. So we focus on what can we control. The way that we practice, the way that we do our preparation. All these things are part of the process. Yes, we look at the outcome because that is what, by the end of the season, we're judged on. But if you're chopping and changing your team because the outcome wasn't what you wanted or what you were expecting, by the end of the season, you've got players who don't know whether they're coming or going. And very unsettling for any team environment. So I think a really, really important lesson is that you focus on the process, and from the outcome, win or lose, you still learn lessons. Okay, so as I said, this segment of industry, I really believe that without this segment, without the SMEs, countries wouldn't have the foundation for job creation, for growing the economy, providing jobs, providing opportunities for people. So thank you for what you've put in, because I know as teachers, my parents, as coaches, my father and myself, it's a huge sacrifice that you are making for the benefit of other people. Yes, we also benefit, but a large impact that you are having is for the benefit of other people. So it's wonderful to be here this afternoon, to be a part of these awards, and I thank you for your time and your commitment and the sacrifices that you are making to make India an incredible country, which I'm privileged to live in half the year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Jonty, sir.
We will open the floor for a few questions from the audience. Check, 1, 2. So we would like to open the floor for a few questions from the audience, but before we move on, I am also a very big fan, sir. So I would also like to ask one question. You said that you like, in one of your interviews, you mentioned that you enjoy being on the field to be as when your team was bowling, rather than batting, because that's when you're alone, right? And you like being a team player. So how can we draw inspiration from that, and what is your thought process behind that?
I'm not sure how you're going to draw inspiration. I've always believed that as a team player, my contribution was more than just my stats as a batter. My main job was to score runs as a batter. And I knew that not every day was going to be my day with the bat. So I had to find another way to contribute to the team. And fortunately, I'd always been a good fielder. I was a multi-sports player, like you saw the intro, hockey player, football, tennis. And all these sports made me a good fielder. Because you had to move with the hockey ball at the end of the stick, you had to move sideways as a tennis player, as a football player, and as a hockey player. I was the goal scorer, not the goalkeeper. But I modeled my fielding on the goalkeeper, because his job was to keep the ball out of the net. And when Sachin Sir was batting, that was my job, to stop the ball from going past. So I was really fortunate in that, I never had a fielding coach. When I was playing cricket for South Africa, there was only one coach. So I think what's important there is that we can learn lessons from everybody, not just people in our industry, but all around us. And I was open as a cricket player to learn from the other sports that I played. So my fielding was a combination of